Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Friday Night SmackDown. The Friday SmackDown right before the very first PLE backlash we here in the Czech Republic. And we are going to go ahead and begin with Carmelo Hayes and his United States Open Challenge. Here he is, him, the United States Champion, here tonight. He looks to see if he can successfully defend his title yet again. Of course, originally first title defense coming at WrestleMania against Jimmy Uso, the former United States Champion. Following that, he went ahead and defended his championship against Damian Priest, against, I'm trying to think, Leon Slater, and The Miz, just, more recently of all. And here tonight, we could be seeing some repeats, definitely. Of course, it's not just, one and done. You can come and accept this open challenge as much times as you want until you win if you wish. But we are hoping we do see a new challenger here tonight. So Carmelo Hayes speaking on the mic, letting the whole roster know, if you want some, come get some. Of course, this whole thing paying homage and a bit of a respect to the greatest of all time, John Cena. And look who will be answering the open challenge. Tony D'Angelo is here. And he is going to be the man that answers Carmelo Hayes' open challenge. An opportunity here for Tony D'Angelo. First match on SmackDown, if I'm correct. And first match in the main roster, first match for a championship, right? A lot of firsts here for Tony D'Angelo. So a big opportunity, as he is the man who goes ahead and accepts Carmelo Hayes' open challenge. Let's run back. Of course, I already mentioned Jimmy Uso, Damian Priest, Leon Slater, The Miz. That's 4 successful title defenses for Carmelo Hayes here tonight. Looking to make it 5 against Tony D'Angelo. However, Tony D'Angelo coming up as a former Heritage Champion, former North American Champion down at NXT, held, I believe. Actually, no, maybe not. I was about to say held Tag Team Gold, but I'm not sure about that one. Point is, he has been a champion down at NXT here tonight, looking to instantly become a champion on the main roster, but his opponent is going to be no easy challenge. Carmelo Hayes has definitely proven that he has what it takes to keep these open challenges running. This man is able to get, he's like a cat. You think you've knocked him down, and then he has, multiple more lives. And out of nowhere, he comes back, and he's just better than ever and ends up beating you. He's shown that against Damian Priest, against Leon Slater, against The Miz. He gets these second wins, and this man is very capable of every single week defending this championship and coming out still the champion. So it is going to be a very difficult challenge here for Tony D'Angelo. As this match has begun, and it has been all Carmelo Hayes, Tony D'Angelo has struggled to get some attack in there, but however, he may just do it now as he sends Carmelo Hayes flying over his shoulders. And now Tony D'Angelo finally with an opportunity to be able to get onto the attack, quickly charging up, maybe looking for a quick finish here. Carmelo Hayes may be in trouble as he's slammed down. Can Tony D'Angelo win the match? 1, 2, and a kick out at 2 by Carmelo Hayes. But Tony D'Angelo, just because he's making all these debuts, just because the nerves may be high, does not mean he isn't ready. I've already said it before, this man has experience being champion. I believe he's the man who beat Obafemi in order to become a 2-time, potentially, North American champion. I'm not too sure on the facts there, but point is, Tony D'Angelo is able to take down those people who seem unbeatable to become champion. So he is definitely capable of doing that tonight, and he almost got it done there and definitely showed a good, a preview of what he's capable of. So very possible here tonight. However, Carmelo Hayes, as we mentioned, is still a freaking beast. Crazy stamina, crazy athleticism. Opening matchup, gonna be a freaking instant classic already here in the Czech Republic. as these two are going at it. Back and forth, but very quickly, Carmelo Hayes with a big boot. Tony D'Angelo still able to get out of the way of Carmelo Hayes' attack. Instead, sending him flying over his shoulder once again. And now Tony D'Angelo, what is he going to look to do? Waits for Carmelo Hayes as he slowly gets up. Tony D'Angelo maybe looking for a spear here. Carmelo Hayes, oh no, he was looking for a missile drop kick. Carmelo Hayes prevents that, and instead, Carmelo Hayes, it is time for him to get onto the attack. As Carmelo Hayes, instead a quick roll-up by Tony D'Angelo, one. And a quick kick out at one by Carmelo Hayes. A bit of a shock factor right there. We thought Carmelo Hayes had control, but instead it was Tony D who now looks for the missile drop kick once again. And once again, he is stopped by Carmelo Hayes, who instead counters him. And now Carmelo Hayes is going to be looking to put a finish onto this matchup as he grabs Tony D'Angelo, sends him straight into the turnbuckle. And now potentially charging up the finish here. Tony D'Angelo may be in trouble as Carmelo Hayes sends him over the top ropes. Carmelo gonna look to fly right here, looking for the frog splash. Big impact onto Tony D'Angelo. As Carmelo Hayes now gonna clear the commentator's table. This is dangerous. We've seen what Carmelo Hayes can do from here. We've seen it previously, not breaking the table, but breaking his opponent's back. And it looks like he may be looking to do the same here with Tony D'Angelo. As Carmelo Hayes looking to pick up Tony D'Angelo. And gonna look to... Oh, there it is. Gonna look to smack him down straight onto the concrete. And big damage done to Tony D'Angelo, while Carmelo Hayes does take some damage from there. It does not compare to how much Tony D'Angelo took. As now Carmelo Hayes gonna look to fly off of the top turnbuckle, decides not. Instead, Tony D'Angelo is able to go ahead and beat the referee's count at 8. Now countering Carmelo Hayes as he grabs Carmelo. What is he going to look to do right here? Tony D'Angelo going to look to use the ropes in order to just block the air passageways right there for Carmelo Hayes, affecting the neck of Carmelo. Carmelo Hayes is still able to counter, at least for a little bit, as Tony D'Angelo looks to be able to get back onto the attack, dropping Carmelo Hayes onto his back. And now this is what I'm talking about. That second life, a huge stunner, and Carmelo, out of nowhere, may have just secured the victory. Big stomps onto Tony D'Angelo as he now climbs the top ropes, and he's going to look for nothing but net. A very tricky situation here for Tony D'Angelo, who may be able to secure the United States Championship. Yes, he can. Carmelo Hayes, another successful title defense. He has done it. Tony D'Angelo answered the call. He accepted the open challenge, but it was a champion, Carmelo Hayes, who was able to go ahead and leave still the United States champion. Congratulations to both men. Welcome, Tony D'Angelo, to the main roster. But unfortunately for you, you are going to start off with a loss. It's a good loss, it's to a champion in an open challenge. So it's not the worst look for Tony D'Angelo, but it's a very good look for Carmelo Hayes, who adds another successful title defense now to this United States Championship reign. And next week, this open challenge continues. Will anybody be able to stop him? Carmelo Hayes. We'll have to wait and see. For now, celebrations begin for the United States champion. Talking about United States championships, we have the inaugural Women's United States champion, former Women's United States champion, Chelsea Green, here tonight in action, accompanied by Piper Niven, Alba Fire, her secret Hervis. As here tonight, Chelsea Green is in action. Women's singles action. Her opponent, B-Fab. And these two have been searching for gold. They've had opportunities at the Women's United States Championship. And while this isn't a number one contenders match, it could be a very crucial matchup to see who may be next in line for that United States Championship. Talking about the Women's United States Championship, that title will be on the line in the main event later tonight, as Charlotte Flair and Miss Lash Legend go one-on-one in a tables, ladders, and chair match. That is right, TLC match. Gotta climb that ladder and steal the belt from the middle of the air. That's on the line, United States Championship in the main event. But for now, we focus on this match. Charlotte Flair definitely watching this match. And Lash Legend definitely watching this match. But those two also got to focus on one another later tonight. As Chelsea Green, B-Fab in action here tonight as B-Fab off of the middle ropes, trying to look for a missile drop kick. Does connect with Chelsea Green, but Chelsea Green takes down the referee while she's at it. B-Fab doesn't care, continues her attack. She looks for the pinfall. Is she an idiot? Did you not just notice the referee's down? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't matter. The referee is down. He does quickly get back up. Maybe just trying to test the patience and maybe build up some anger within Chelsea Green by pinning her so early, especially when the referee's down, just kind of bothering her a little bit. Well, Piper Niven definitely seems to be quite angry, is very quickly trying to distract B-Fab, allowing Chelsea Green to recover. And now she may go ahead and hit the suplex onto B-Fab. As Chelsea Green now, what is she going to look to do? Big stomp onto B-Fab, and an opportunity now given to Chelsea Green by Piper Niven to be able to get onto the attack. Still B-Fab able to move out of the way right there, knocking Chelsea Green back down onto the mat. And now instead it is B-Fab who will be onto the attack. Big stomp onto the left leg of Chelsea Green. B-Fab not yet finished, now looking to target the right arm of Chelsea Green, potentially dislocating it there. And Chelsea Green going to have to roll outside of the ring. B-Fab using the ropes, maybe looking to fly. Decides not to. Instead, well, she was going to look to fly, but off of the top ropes. Not the way we expected. She does crossbody. A little bit of hesitation, but still able to connect with Chelsea Green. As now B-Fab looking to climb the top ropes once again, but instead of crossbody onto Alba Fire. And now sending Piper Niven straight into the LED barricade. And now Piper Niven and Alba Fire going at it onto B-Fab. And I'm not sure what happened there. Alba Fire was thrown inside of the ring by Piper Niven. And she's attacked by B-Fab. Well, maybe it was to distract the referee. He has been distracted, but maybe not for good, as Alba Fire has been ejected from this match. Of course, Chelsea Green by 4 had the numbers game advantage. And now that's a little bit less of an advantage, as only Piper Niven in the corner of Chelsea Green. Now B-Fab trying to, even things out a little here. And is able to do so, at least for a moment. But if she keeps focusing on Piper Niven and whoever else decides to come out here and help Chelsea Green, she may lose the match, because guess what? The match is against Chelsea Green. You got to focus on her. And these two are going at it. She's already taken some damage by Alba Fire and Piper Niven. This allows Chelsea Green to now potentially secure the victory here. As all very well may be in danger. B-Fab about to be hit with the unprettier. There it is. Chelsea Green for the victory. 1, 2, 3. Too focused on Alba Fire. Too focused on Piper Niven. And that opens way for Chelsea Green to go ahead and do some enormous damage onto B-Fab. Hit her with her signature move, the Unprettier, and go ahead and secure the victory here tonight. Again, I'm sure both Lash Legend, Charlotte Flair had a very close eye on this match as Chelsea Green gets the victory. Charlotte Flair, Lash Legend will face off against each other in the main event TLC match for the Women's United States Championship. Once again, that will come later in the main event. But for now, the celebrations begin for Chelsea Green and her secret Hervis, as Chelsea Green was able to go ahead and get the victory here tonight. Congratulations, Chelsea Green. Congratulations, Piper Niven. You did your job. Secured that victory for Chelsea Green and Alba Fire. You took a sacrifice. Got the win for Chelsea Green. They must be very happy, as now we move on to some tag team action here in the Czech Republic. Introducing the first tag team, we have Johnny Gargano Tommaso Ciampa might be Triple H. DIY is here. Their opponent's going to be no easy task. This is one heck of a matchup here tonight as our opponents, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, the Street Profits are here. And what an incredible tag team match here in the Czech Republic. The Street Profits against DIY. Not a number one contenders match, but when you have two great teams like these, it sure does feel like it. You know, whoever wins from this match, if they were to go ahead and come out next week, say, yo, I want a championship match opportunity, I would go ahead and give it to them. That's how much a matchup like this means, as we have Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, DIY facing off against Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, the Street Profits here in some tag team action. It is going to go ahead and be Montez Ford and Tommaso Ciampa who begin this matchup for us. And these two are going to be going at it. Oh, Montez Ford doing some damage onto Johnny Gargano, even though he isn't the legal superstar. And both of these teams have gotten various championship opportunities, especially last season. Of course, the Street Profits did hold gold for a good bit, the beginning half, or I guess the beginning quarter or something, of Season 1, until they eventually lost those championships to a former tag team Los Reyes of Rey Fenix and Rey Mysterio. DIY were the first challengers to that title reign, so they certainly got some opportunities there. The Street Profits were then able to get a rematch, failed, but still getting opportunities there. So the point is, these guys are always circling around the championship matches. So again, while this isn't a number one contenders match, it helps so much to build up a case to be able to go ahead and get a championship opportunity. And talk about Los Reyes, of course, unfortunately, Rey Mysterio now retired. But we do have Rey Fenix, and he will be live here tonight in action against a debutee who made the move from NXT here onto SmackDown. That to come later tonight, so make sure you guys go ahead and tune in to that. As for now, we go ahead and talk a little bit more about what's coming actually later tonight. I was going to say focus on this match, but I'm getting told in my earpiece it's time to let the fans know what's going to be going on later tonight. Just a little glimpse. Of course, I already mentioned we would be seeing Rey Fenix in action later tonight, singles action. We'll be also seeing the debut of Jordan Grace on the main roster, former NXT champion, multiple-time TNA Knockouts World Champion. And she will be making her debut here on the main roster and on SmackDown later tonight. We will also be seeing Tiffany Stratton in action. We have not seen from her too much. She lost that Women's WWE Championship, kind of stepped away, came back for the Rumble. She missed WrestleMania, was definitely disappointed by that, but she's kind of been, rebuilding herself to be able to go back and get back that championship. We will be seeing her against a Triple A woman superstar who will also be making her WWE debut, so that's going to be very interesting. That woman is a former Reina de Reinas champion, I believe, 1 or 2-time Reina de Reinas champion. Eventually lost it to Fabi Apache, who then lost it to Lola Vice. But the point is, she held it before, so we'll have to see how she does against Tiffany Stratton. We will also be seeing All Ego Ethan Page in action here tonight. Former Triple A Latin American champion, NXT champion. Here tonight, we will be going in action against a very well-loved, well-known superstar. Not trying to spoil everything. And then, of course, the main event time. Charlotte Flair, Lash Legend, TLC match for the Women's United States Championship. A small little preview of what's to come later tonight. And now that we've gone through that, let's go ahead and move our full focus onto this match. The Street Profits versus DIY. And at the moment, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford are absolutely destroying DIY as, oh, there it is. That may be it for DIY as Angelo Dawkins gonna look for the finish here. And oh, Johnny Gargano is able to go ahead and counter Angelo Dawkins just when he thought he had the match won. Johnny Gargano able to make something out of nothing. And now, oh, look at the face of Montez Ford in fear. Is able to prevent any attack from Johnny Gargano. Sends him into the turnbuckle. Now tag made. These are going to look to work together for the finisher. That may be it. And now Tommaso Ciampa, I already see him coming in ready to break the count. Angelo Dawkins not happy with that. Attacking and looking for the pinfall once again. One. And a kick out at one by Johnny Gargano. As this match continues. Shockingly, Johnny Gargano still in this matchup. That was enough time for him to go ahead and recover. However, Angelo Dawkins still countering and still onto the attack. Johnny Gargano trying to maybe pick up Angelo Dawkins. They're not a good idea as he is quickly countered, sent straight into the turnbuckle. Tommaso Ciampa picked up and slammed all the way down onto the mats, making sure no one can break up whatever Angelo Dawkins is about to do. As, he's going to look to climb the top turnbuckle, the top ropes, and a big splash. Johnny Gargano may be out. 1, 2, 3. Yes, he is. The Street Profits have done it. DIY struggled in this matchup, and that allowed Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins to move with ease, to move comfortably. And that's how here tonight they have been able to go ahead and get the victory. Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford beats DIY. And again, they come out here next week and say, yo, look, I want a championship opportunity. I would not care. I would go ahead and give it to them because I know they have earned it and they deserve it. But for now, the celebrations begin as they have just been a very big tag team. DIY, Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford, former two-time WWE Tag Team Champions, get the victory here tonight. Congratulations to the Street Profits. As we now move on to our next match, we talked about it. Jordynne Grace making her SmackDown and main roster debuts. I believe 3 or 4-time TNA Knockouts World Champion, former NXT Champion, held both of those titles at the same time. It was like a unanimous champion. So, she is one heck of a beast. She is here on the main roster not to play games, but to freaking dominate. Looking for those checks and championships. And here tonight she faces off against Candice LeRae. Very close with DIY, of course. Johnny Gargano. They a little too lovebirds, so DIY took the losses. Candice LeRae going to be able to follow in their footsteps, or is she going to go ahead and get the victory here tonight? Well, she has no easy path in front of her. With Jordynne Grace, going to be a very difficult matchup as Jordynne Grace very quickly looking to set the tone to this matchup, looking to show the WWE Universe, the main roster, everyone backstage exactly what she's made out of as she looks to very quickly take control of this matchup, doing big damage onto Candice LeRae and looking to get the victory here tonight as Jordynne Grace makes her debut. Candice LeRae, a little bit more of an experienced superstar. Her very first opponent here on the main roster. How will these two go at it? Now, even though she has only just made her debut right now, she has already been on a main event PLE, the women's only PLE, Evolution. Jordynne Grace has gone ahead and done that, and of course the Royal Rumble once before. I'm not sure if she participated in this last one as well. I honestly don't remember all 30 contestants. Very quickly, Jordynne Grace looking for the pinfall. Ooh, no. Only one. Candice LeRae able to kick out. However, Jordynne Grace going to look to continue her attack. Candice LeRae is able to counter there. And now Candice LeRae looking to fly off the bottom ropes. Jordynne Grace moves out of the way now, knocking down Candice LeRae. Jordynne Grace was looking for an elbow drop. Candice LeRae able to move out of the way. And while Candice isn't really fighting back, she still is kind of, dodging some attacks. So still staying in this matchup. but not in a way where she may be able to win it. Jordynne Grace showing off a little bit there, showing off those muscles, that strength in a big boot to the back of Candice LeRae to put the cherry on top. And now Candice LeRae may be in trouble as Jordynne Grace wants to put an end to this match nice and early, looking to make an instant alert to everyone backstage. Jordynne Grace has arrived to SmackDown and arrived to the main roster, begins her career here against Candice LeRae with a victory. As we take a look back very quickly, it was Jordynne Grace who instantly went on to the attack, as I said, looking to make that instant alert to Candice LeRae, to the WWE Universe, to the backstage locker room, to absolutely everybody, and it showed as she took this match very seriously and controlled it in a very dominant fashion. And in the end, it was almost like a, well, I'm sorry, Candice LeRae, but really a squash match, as Jordynne Grace was very quickly able to get the victory here tonight. Congratulations to Jordynne Grace and welcome to the main roster. As we now move on forward, this is another debut. Tavion Heights here, now on SmackDown. And his opponent we talked about previously, Rey Fénix. He is here, former WWE Tag Team Champion. Now moving into some singles action once again. That's how he began, excuse me. But then, of course, you know, all the trouble with Los Garza, El Legado del Fantasma, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend or whatever, teamed up with Rey, was able to hold the WWE Tag Team Championships for a heck of some time. But then, well, Rey retired. That tag team was no more. And now instead here tonight, we see Rey Fénix back into some singles action, as here tonight he faces off against the DBT, I'm not sure if he's a gold Olympian. I know he's a previous Olympian. I don't think he won gold or anything like that. But facing off against the previous Olympian Tavion Heights here in our next matchup. Rey Fénix, Tavion Heights, both wearing a little bit of orangey yellowish colors. Thank goodness Rey Fénix has a mask now. Maybe that could have been difficult for the colorblind. Thank goodness I'm not. Anyhow, really bad joke. I'm not sure where I was going with there. But this match has begun. Tavion Heights with a huge opportunity, facing off against a former champion here within the WWE, multiple-time champion across other promotions like AAA, while Penta never held the AAA Mega Championship. I believe someone who has is his brother, Rey Fénix, who I believe held it for almost 500 days, which is pretty damn insane. So, Rey Fénix, not someone to be taken lightly. He is a champion. He has the capabilities to be the best of the best, the top of the top. So, Tavion Heights, if he's able to get a victory here tonight, that would be a huge opportunity for him. But, Tavion Heights, realistically, on paper, well, let's just say he's not the favorite. But we'll see how things go as he does make big impact right there. Now looking for the pinfall too, and Rey Fénix able to kick out. However, I am starting to very quickly eat my own words. Tavion Heights has been the man on the attack. At least he was for a little bit. Maybe proving me right now as Rey Fénix maybe was just trying to give Tavion Heights a little bit of spotlight before it was Rey Fénix's time to shine as he looks for the pinfall one. And a quick kick out at one. Rey Fénix gonna have to do a little bit more if he wants to go ahead and put Tavion Heights away. And oh, look at this big boot dropping Tavion Heights. And Rey Fénix isn't done yet, as he's now gonna look to put an end to this match. He gave Tavion Heights his time to shine, but now it is time for Rey Fénix to show him exactly what he is made out of. Tavion Heights sent straight into the turnbuckle, put onto the top. And this has got to be it. Tavion Heights, welcome to SmackDown. But it is Rey Fénix who gives you a very harsh welcoming. Rey Fénix with a 1, 2, and 3. Gets the job done quite quickly. It really does feel like Rey Fenix was toying with Tavion Heights a little bit, giving him that opportunity to go ahead and just, make some impacts, look for a pinfall, look kind of good, because, the moment Rey Fenix decided it was his time, Tavion Heights had no stopping, no saying no, and it was all Rey Fenix on the attack. He would have hit a huge freaking stunner onto Tavion Heights and secured the victory with the 1, the 2, the 3. Rey Fenix back into some singles action. And, starts up right where he left off with a big old victory. Congratulations to Rey Fenix. As we now move on to our next match. Here she is. Lady Flamer, I believe her. Lady Flamer. Whoa, she is here. Making her WWE debut. I'm going to have to do some more research next time because I'm going to scuff her name. And our opponent's former Women's WWE Champion, Tiffany Stratton, is here. A big opportunity for both women. Lady Flamer making her, I think Flamer sounds a little better. Lady Flamer making her WWE debut. Of course, AAA is owned by WWE, but first time here on SmackDown, first time here on actual WWE territory showcased on the channel. And what a debut match against Tiffany Stratton, who's looking to climb up the ladder once again to try to become the Women's WWE Champion once again. That title will be put on the line this weekend at Backlash, the very first PLE of Season 2. Of course, it is Jade Cargill facing off against Naomi for that title. We will also be seeing Obafemi versus Rosa for the Intercontinental Championship. We have the Ring General Gunther versus Goldberg as Goldberg puts his career on the line. We'll also see Roxanne Perez defend her Intercontinental Championship versus the number 1 contender, Ivy Nile. And in the main event, a rematch of WrestleMania Night 2. We got Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes facing off against each other. This time it is Cody who comes in as a challenger and Randy as a champion. A rematch in the main event and a stipulation as well that if Cody loses, he can no longer challenge for the WWE Championship as long as Randy is champion. Now, of course, we already also have a number 1 contender to that title, so winner of Backlash already has Jacob Fatu to face off against, so that's going to be interesting. Of course, the other 3 men in that number 1 contenders match will surely be looking for opportunities in the future. Drew McIntyre, Sami Zayn, Ilya Dragunov. I'm sure there are so many others who would be happy to get an opportunity. Damian Priest, Aleister Black, Ricky Saints. I mean, he can make the instant move and go straight for the WWE Championship. There's a lot of opportunities here with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes being the first of all of those at Backlash. That's going to be in the main events this weekend. But for now, we focus on this match. Tiffany Stratton versus Lady Flamer, and very quickly, Tiffany Stratton's trying to put an end to this match. Lady Flamer has struggled. Tiffany Stratton has definitely been the woman in control in this match, and rightfully so. Of course, as I mentioned, former WWE Women's Champion, and while Lady Flamer is a former Reina de Reinas champion, that title reign wasn't for too long. Many consider that reign a fluke because of it, and since then she hasn't fought for it, she hasn't gotten an opportunity for it, so it's still looking like a bit of a fluke. But maybe a victory here against Tiffany Stratton can go ahead and showcase that it's not, and maybe can put her on the right track to go ahead and get a little bit of a rematch, or an opportunity at least, for that AAA Reina de Reinas Championship, currently being held by Lola Vice over on Monday Night Raw. As Lady Flamer looks to grab Tiffany Stratton, finally doing a little bit of damage here. Looking to scream at the referee, I'm not sure for what reason. Knee to the face of Tiffany Stratton. And now Tiffany was trying to roll to the ropes, trying to help her get up, but Lady Flamer gonna prevent it instead. Looking to climb all the way to the very top rope, looking to fly double axe handle onto Tiffany Stratton as she looks for the pinfall. 1. And a quick kick out at 1. Maybe a little bit of disappointment there from Lady Flamer, who may have believed she could have done more. Now Tiffany Stratton. Big damage. Lady Flamer's time here may be over. As Tiffany Stratton grabs Lady Flamer, sends her straight into the turnbuckle. And Tiffany Stratton gonna look for the prettiest moonsault. There it is, connects. Looks for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3. And what a debut for Lady Flamer. A huge opportunity wasted. As it is Tiffany Stratton who is able to get the victory here tonight. I guess that Reign's gonna continue to look like a fluke. She isn't looking too hot, but hey, you see all those flames at her introduction. Maybe she just needs that little spark to get things going. Maybe she just needs a little gasoline to make that fire build up. But for now, it is Tiffany Stratton who is on her journey to become WWE Women's Champion once again, who was able to go ahead and get the victory. Congratulations to Tiffy time. Tiffany Stratton gets the victory here tonight. And now we move on to our next match. Of course, I already previously talked a little bit about it. We have Ethan Page, former AAA Latin American champion, former NXT champion. Here tonight he faces off against, say his name and he appears, Joe Henry is here. Yeah, and he is here on the main roster as a free agent. Going to be moving around between Raw and SmackDown as freely as he would like. Both GMs are okay with that. Of course, former TNA World Champion, spent a good time in TNA, kind of built up his name over there, and signed with the WWE, made it onto NXT. And now, a free agent here in the main roster is Ethan Page. Before the bell can even ring, already attacks Joe Henry. The bell has rung. This match has begun. Ethan Page, Joe Henry going at it one-on-one here tonight. Who will be able to get the victory? Will it be, say his name and you appear, or he appears, Joe Henry, or All Ego Ethan Page? We'll find out in just a moment as these two are going at it in a little bit of a back and forth action. Of course, as a reminder, later tonight in the main event here of Friday Night SmackDown, we will be seeing the Queen Charlotte Flair, the Women's United States Champion, putting her title on the line putting her title on the line in a TLC match against Lash Legend. That is bound to be a fantastic match. That to come in the main event here tonight. And then, of course, this weekend, this Sunday, confirmed, will go ahead and be the very first PLE of season number 2 of My Universe Backlash. That is set to be confirmed for Sunday, so make sure you guys go ahead and tune in. We've talked about the matches that are going to happen and that we have on the card for Backlash enough, and it is now time to go ahead and enjoy the build and enjoy Backlash. Yeah, as simple as that. It is enough time of trying to get you guys to watch it. Now it's time to actually sit back, relax, and enjoy. But for now, we continue to leave our focus on this match. Joe Henry, Ethan Page continuing to go at it, and these two seem as though they could go at it for hours. These two seem to be very neutral here tonight. They're both able to get onto the attack. They're both able to defend. They're both able to counter. It's kind of like a, I get you, you get me, back and forth situation throughout this whole matchup. And it is making for a very interesting matchup here. But Joe Henry maybe trying to get the crowd in his favor to get a slight home court feel. And now Ethan Page may be in trouble as Joe Henry sends Ethan Page flying. Joe Henry isn't done as he slams down Ethan Page, now looking for the pinfall. 1, 2, A kick out at 2 by Ethan Page as this match continues, and now Ethan Page fighting back. As I had mentioned, these two going at it back and forth, both men getting opportunities. Of course, Joe Henry was just a man on the attack right now. Ethan Page got a little bit, but quickly a bit of an adrenaline rush from Joe Henry. A second wind as he is back into this match. And Ethan Page still able to fight back, missing the boot there. Does make a little bit of contact now, sending Joe Henry face first into the turnbuckle. May have opened up his face right there, now sending Joe Henry flying back first onto the mat. His face is bleeding, and now Joe Henry in trouble. Knees to the face, big stunner by Ethan Page, as now Ethan Page looks to climb the top ropes, looking to keep an advantage. Oh, but Joe Henry able to move out of the way, nobody home, and now Joe Henry looking for the finish. Oh, Ethan Page still able to counter, still able to keep this match alive. And now it is Ethan Page back onto the attack. Joe Henry, which for some reason my mind wants to keep calling him Uncle Howdy. I'm not sure, my mind's getting corrupted. But these two going at it. Joe Henry with a big clothesline onto Ethan Page, and now may be able to put the final nail in the coffin. Looking for a standing ovation, but Ethan Page counters. And now Ethan Page was looking for a finish of his own, while Joe Henry is able to prevent the first attack, not the second, a modified suplex. But quickly, Joe Henry tripping up Ethan, and now Ethan onto the attack. These two keep going at it back and forth. They're each getting their couple seconds of spotlight, not allowing one another to do anything. These two are going at it, and it is incredible. What a matchup these two are giving us. As now Ethan Page looks to looks to carry Joe Henry and drop him onto the top rope. And now Ethan Page is going to look for the pinfall here. Can he go ahead and win the match? A kick out at 2 by Joe Henry. And this match continues. And now Ethan Page with a knee to the face. I guess the back of the head of Joe Henry now. He looks to climb the top ropes, and off of the top ropes was looking for an elbow drop. Joe Henry able to move out of the way, though instead returns a knee drop of his own. Now off of the middle ropes, a double axe handle connects onto Ethan Page. Knee to the face, now busting open the face of Ethan Page, who, at least from my view, seems to be bleeding as well. These two, really giving blood, sweat, and tears for this match. And Joe Henry with a standing ovation. And there it is, Ethan Page very well maybe out. That may have been the victory for Joe Henry with a big splash. And Joe Henry stares down at Ethan Page. Knows he has to give more, and he was right, as Ethan Page still in this, still fighting back. And now it is Ethan Page who is the man in control, as you know. Knocks down Joe Henry. Looks to pick him up, grabbing him, looking to send him straight into the turnbuckle. The initial spot where Joe Henry's face was busted open. Joe Henry still able to counter things into his favor, as he now sends Ethan Page straight into the turnbuckle. Joe Henry not finished, as he now looks to pick up Ethan Page, trying to do some damage onto Ethan. Ethan may be able to fight back right here, maybe not. Joe Henry sends Ethan Page over the top ropes, and now Joe Henry off of the top ropes, looking to fly in a big splash. Huge impact onto Ethan Page, and the fans are loving this. He's getting the fans in his favor. Ethan Page is in trouble. Ethan Page may be out. And Joe Henry, say his name, and he appears is not yet finished. He wants to look for more. Joe Henry may be looking for a standing ovation on the outside of the ring. Joe Henry, oh my days, is able to connect. And now Joe Henry looks to pick up Ethan Page, but what I don't think he realizes is the referee's count is now very close to 10. It's at 8. A clothesline to Ethan Page, an elbow drop The referee's count gets to 9, and this is going to end in a draw as Ethan Page is fighting back. And it does. What the heck? Both men very disappointed. What a clash it was. But so focused on beating each other up rather than going ahead and trying to secure a victory or keeping the fight inside of the ring. Joe Henry fights on the outside. If he did have a chance to go back into the ring, Ethan Page counters and prevents either man through both of their actions from going back inside of the ring, and they both end up getting counted out, resulting in a draw. And while it was an incredible matchup, it is very disappointing. A very disappointing result to see a draw. So I am hoping they are quickly rebooking a rematch between these two in order to set someone a definitive winner. Is what I'm trying to get at. If it means having a Extreme Rules match, no holds barred, falls count anywhere, whatever circumstances it takes to make sure we have a winner, that's what I want, and I'm hoping we get a rematch in the very near future. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the main event of the evening. Here tonight we have the Women's United States Champion, the Queen Charlotte Flair, defending her title in a TLC match as we see the title hanging there above the ring. And her opponent, Lash Legend, is all looking to attack Charlotte Flair with a kendo stick. And just like that, the match begins. Not even allowing Charlotte Flair to get inside of the ring, Lash Legend looking to take full advantage of any opportunity she can get, trying to become the brand new Women's United States Champion here tonight. As Charlotte Flair with a leg drop is able to reverse the rules, and now she is a woman on the attack. Charlotte Flair quickly going to look to grab a ladder, maybe wants to put an end to this match nice and early. Inside of the ring, Lash Legend awaits with a kendo stick and connects with the face of Charlotte Flair. Big damage being done onto the Queen Charlotte, who is able to get up and out, knocking down Lash Legend. Big damage right there. Back onto Lash Legend. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event here tonight. A TLC match. The first woman to climb the ladder in the middle of the ring, grab the belt and strip it off of the little hanger, will go ahead and declare themselves the Women's United States Champion. And while Charlotte Flair would have more experience, and well, she is a champion for a reason, I think usually you expect this matchup to be not just a one-on-one match. You expect it to be a triple threat match at the very least. For it to be a one-on-one is a very tricky situation because of this. Charlotte Flair is down for a second. Lash Legend rushes to try to get the belt. Charlotte Flair is able to intervene, but that's exactly why it's so dangerous. You know, sometimes when it's a triple threat or a fatal four-way, you can kind of be like, okay, I can get knocked down. Someone else may go ahead and interrupt and kind of save the match and keep it going. In a one-on-one, if you get knocked down and you can't get up, your opponent is going to take full advantage of that and try to steal the opportunity to get the title and become the champion. So a very difficult situation, definitely for both women. I think this affects Charlotte Flair more because she is the champion. It puts her at a very difficult position. Defending as right here, Lash Legend trying to go at it again, and oh, Charlotte Flair quickly knocking down the ladder, preventing any opportunity from Lash Legend right there. Sets up the ladder once again. Charlotte Flair definitely wants to put an end to this match quickly, but Lash Legend giving her a bigger challenge than she expected. Charlotte Flair, though, still fighting back. Big damage being done as now Lash Legend being sent over the top rope, still hanging on, and now Charlotte Flair gonna look for an opportunity of her own as she looks to retain her championship and leave here tonight still the Women's United States Champion. Lash Legend is there now looking to knock down Charlotte Flair. Charlotte was very close to getting about right there, but Lash Legend able to stop that from happening. Now dropping Charlotte Flair. And now Lash Legend with a big rush and a boot, sending Charlotte Flair over the top ropes. And a huge opportunity here for Lash Legend who may be able to go ahead and steal the victory right here. Oh, but Charlotte Flair, she has a hawk's eye. She sees something trying to stop her title reign. Or I guess someone, excuse me, Lash Legend. And instantly stops it, but Lash Legend with a big stunner. Huge damage done. Onto Charlotte Flair and now Lash Legend to become the new Women's United States Champion. May be able to go ahead and get the job done. Charlotte Flair's title reign is in trouble, but Charlotte Flair able to get up just in time. Oh my days. This match is still very freshly started, but what an incredible matchup it has been so far. As now Charlotte Flair looking to do some damage, dropping Lash Legend back first onto the mat. Charlotte Flair now grabbing the ladder and setting it once again back up onto the middle of the ring, looking to grab the belt. Oh, Lash Legend interrupting, and now Charlotte Flair with a big fall. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Well, it was Charlotte Shirley on top of the ladder. Doesn't care, doesn't matter. Oh my days. And now Lash Legend with a steel chair trying to do enormous damage onto Charlotte Flair, but Lash Legend able to go ahead and prevent that from happening. I mean, surprisingly, compared to how experienced Charlotte Flair is, Lash Legend is definitely doing a very good job of keeping up as more damage being done by the steel chair onto Charlotte Flair. Lash Legend continues doing her damage. And now Charlotte Flair in pain, in agony, and this being a huge opportunity. As Lash Legend, I thought she would have, maybe tried to climb that ladder, but it looks like she wants to do a little bit more damage as she sets up a table outside of the ring. Charlotte Flair thinks is a good opportunity to climb the ladder. Maybe not the smartest idea right there, quickly getting knocked down, and now Lash Legend picks up Charlotte Flair, and Charlotte Flair thrown over the top ropes and through the table. Oh my days, Lash Legend. What are you doing to the United States Champion? She is not going to be able to do anything after this match. Lash Legend not done with Charlotte Flair yet, as face first straight onto the floor. Lash Legend very much in control, getting the job done here. Send Charlotte Flair inside of the ring. I'm not sure if that's the smartest decision. Ladder splats down onto Charlotte Flair, doing even more damage onto her. And Lash Legend not done now with a big choke slam. Charlotte Flair may never be able to move again because Lash Legend is just whopping her up. And Charlotte Flair finally able to save herself from being attacked. Able to throw Lash Legend over the top ropes. However, Lash Legend, Charlotte, you don't learn. As she tries to go back straight to climbing the ladder, Lash Legend gonna quickly interrupt that before Charlotte Flair can even reach her arm up. And Charlotte Flair still fighting back, though, even after all that damage being thrown over the top ropes, through a table. Probably the most memorable moment of this match for now. Even after all of that, Charlotte Flair's still in this. And now she's going to look to climb the top ropes once to put an end to this match. Lash Legend, man, moving like Lightning McQueen. As before Charlotte Flair even realizes her opponent is back up, Lash Legend is already hitting her with a stunner as well. Lash Legend can secure the Women's United States Championship right here, right now. Lash Legend is scraping. She takes a step higher and may be able to become the brand new Women's United States Champion. Oh, Charlotte Flair is able to save her title reign once again. And what an incredible matchup this is. These two continue to go at it. So much damage to both women. I mean, look at the mess they have made with tables, with ladders, with the commentator's table. Oh my days, I can't even speak right now. What an incredible matchup this has been. And Lash Legend now with the steel chair straight to the face of Charlotte Flair. And Lash Legend now looking to climb the ladder. Can fifth time be the charm? Charlotte Flair gets up quickly, knocks Lash Legend down once again. And the hopes of Lash Legend to become the brand new Women's United States Champion are moving like crazy. The hopes go very high for a second, and very low, and right now they are severely low as Charlotte Flair, almost out of nowhere, has just completely knocked down Lash Legend out of the race, and it seems to just be Charlotte Flair in control. A very difficult situation as Lash Legend about to be put into the very signature, very famous submission hold. Lash Legend can tap, but that's not going to end the match, and she is tapping. Charlotte Flair does let go, but the thing is, this match continues, so Charlotte Flair can go ahead and do that another 75 times. Lash Legend can tap out for all of them. This match would still continue, as we see here. Lash Legend still in this. These two going to go at it with some back and forth action. Charlotte Flair, Lash Legend. What an incredible matchup this has been. I'm here to say the best title defense for the Women's United States Championship. The best match with anything to do for the Women's United States Championship of all time. And a big boot by Charlotte Flair opens up the face of Lash Legend. She is bleeding up, and Charlotte Flair now with a steel chair straight to the face of Lash Legend, looking to continue the damage being done onto her. Charlotte Flair now awaits a slow rising Lash Legend. Charlotte Flair has been able to switch things into her favor. A spear, and that could be it. This could be the opportunity she was looking for. No, Charlotte Flair wants to look for more. She looks for the submission hold once again, and again I repeat myself, Lash Legend can quickly tap out of this, as she does once again, but this match continues. But just because it continues does not mean that Lash Legend is still in this, because if she's tapping back quickly, it's because she is in very big pain right now. And oh, Charlotte Flair, more damage onto the knee of Lash Legend, who is in a very tricky situation. As now Charlotte Flair sets up the ladder, looks to send Lash Legend. I thought was going to send her in. It's a yes, not. Instead, just sends her flying over the top ropes. And now Charlotte Flair with a crossbody flying. Lash Legend. Yeah, I bet you she's blacked out. She doesn't even know where she's at or what's going on. Charlotte Flair, though, trying to make sure no one can interrupt this last final chase for the championship. Lash Legend reaching. She may be able to prevent it. Oh, Lash Legend was right there at the heels of Charlotte Flair, but a second too slow, and Charlotte Flair able to grab the title from the middle of the ring, and just like that has secured a successful title defense. Lash Legend gave up a very good fight. In fact, she was almost able to prevent that final push and continue this matchup for a couple more minutes, but the Queen Charlotte Flair, with her experience, with her skill, was able to go ahead and get the job done. Make sure you guys tune in this Sunday to the very first PLE of season number 2. And for now, thank you so much for tuning in.